Good Monday, everybody. Welcome in, Chase and Big Joe. Let's head right to Bridgestone Arena for the Nashville Predators press conference.
Happy to have Chairman and Majority Owner Bill Haslam, GM Barry Trotz, CEO Sean Henry with us today. I'm going to turn it over to Bill, who will kick things off. Then we'll get into questions.
Yeah, thanks. So we appreciate everyone being here. Like I said, we're going to talk a little bit, and then we'll definitely save time for your questions as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Just to start, thank you for everyone giving us the time today. I know you're a busy day. Just want to talk about a couple of rumors out there. I am healthy. This is not a health decision. I'm not getting back into coaching. This is not a coaching decision. So those are some of the rumors that are out there. I just wanted to dispel those. My goal when I was hired here was to focus on a number of different factors. Keeping a strong existing culture that was in place for so many years under David Poiriel's leadership, restock the prospect pool and create a sort of a new core for our hockey club, keep us competitive while we acquire and develop our draft choices and picks. You heard me use the term threading the needle in the past, knowing we needed to buy some time to still be competitive and have some patience for development of our young players. Also wanted to tighten up and modernize the organization in different areas, be it facilities, technologies, including a new practice facility, training center, create a player-centric environment for health and wellness for our players, establish Nashville as a great destination for free agents. We feel we're well on the way creating that strong young core, that base of players. Our future looks really bright with the players that we have drafted and trying to develop at this point. With our ownership that is in place, we're fully committed to that. Our goal is to build an organization to win a Stanley Cup and not just make the playoffs. That's been our goal, my goal since being here. For the last 40 years in professional sports, I've been blessed to be part of a wonderful franchise here in Nashville. Big part of those 40 years was here. This franchise and city have given me and my family so much, a community, a family, friends, and a home. One thing that started to be clear to me is that I was going to retire after the 26-27 season. I felt a responsibility to inform Bill Haslam in early December of my intentions so he and management would have the adequate time for a replacement search. I will continue to manage the team with what is in the best interest of the Nashville Predators until my replacement is in place, no matter when that is. I will help and advise in the search for my replacement. And once the new leader is in place, I will transition into more of an advisory role. And I would like to thank at this time everybody in the organization, especially Brian Poiriel, Jeff Kelty, and Scott Nickel for their loyalty and their undired time and effort every day as we worked as a real strong team.
Sean, you want to make a couple of comments?
Yeah, so Barry, on behalf of all Smashville, thank you. Congratulations. If you've known Barry for a day or a year or any time through his 40-year career, it's a pretty emotional day. It's one that's a celebration on one hand. On the other, we're all going to miss, working with Barry. The way he's led us all, has been a mentor to virtually every person he's ever met. So once again, Barry, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done. But you look back over 30 years ago when he came here, he set the model for Smashville. He became Smashville. He set the tone for what we could be. And it wasn't just an expansion team. It could be a special place to work, to play, to thrive. And you were the most successful expansion coach in the history of the league, surpassing Terry Crisp, much to his enjoyment and chagrin. He's paid it off many times over, Terry. But you did remarkable things as a coach. What I think is even more remarkable, when you chose to come back 3 or 4 years ago, you set some pretty aggressive goals. You went through some of them. But the number one goal was very, very simple, though aggressive. It was to be the best organization in sports. You wanted to transform this organization from being a really good franchise to a model one where, to use your own words, every other team, 31 other teams, should look at the Nashville Predators and say, how do we do that? How do we, make it player centric? How do we have the best facilities that are out there? You roll through those things and you've done it. Look at our locker room downstairs. It's one of the best dressing rooms, locker rooms, recovery rooms, training rooms in our league now, where before we got here, it was mid-tier at best. It's putting the finishing touches on Centennial to make that a model training center for all of us. You talked about making this a place where players want to be, where they want to thrive. You've certainly done that. Even more importantly, you talked about restocking the cupboards, with future draft picks and prospects and where we're going. And again, he won't brag about himself, but just a month and a half ago, we saw a lot of that work on the world stage with juniors, where we had, I think, with Utah, the most players represented. So everything he said he was going to do, he was going to take on. As much as we've enjoyed, the work of 30 years ago, through today, the work we've done the past 3 or 4 years, I think we're going to enjoy for, decades to come. So once again, I just want to say thank you to you. But again, I go back to what you've always said. When you got here, it was in good shape. All you wanted to do was leave in a better situation. You sure have. And your work's not done yet. As you continue to stock load draft picks, I think this draft and years to come, will have your fingerprints all over it. So again, on behalf of all of us, just want to say thank you. When we told the players and the coaches, it was a little bit emotional for everyone because you meant that much to every single one of us. You became family. So thank you.
Thank you.
So when you think about the great Nashville Predators, Barry Trotz's name has to be near the top of the list. Okay, he's made that kind of contribution. I also want to say this. I've been in business, I've been in politics, I've been in sports now for 2 or 3 years. I don't know many better human beings than Barry Trotz. I really don't. He's just that guy. And he has that kind of heart for everybody around him. So I want to start there. His incredible contribution in this. A logical question is like, well, this is sort of an unusual way to do this. You're announcing a search that Barry's, going to be the general manager. And by the way, I want to make that point really clear. Barry is our general manager. He is going to be the general manager. He's in charge of the trade deadline. He is our general manager. I've been a mayor and a governor where everybody calls you a lame duck. I don't believe in that. Barry is our general manager. But you might say, so why are you doing this now? Well, 2 or 3 reasons. One, I just kind of want, whenever you can, you want to be as transparent as you can. And once you've made a decision, you need to go ahead and say that. The second thing is this. Barry's the unique kind of individual you can do this with. I have zero doubts, and I want to emphasize that he won't always do the right thing for the Predators. And anybody that knows Barry and wonders if he'll think, oh, I'm on the way out, I want to make it look good, I'll treat the trade deadline this way. That won't. Barry will always do what's right. I have 100% confidence in that. And I also think this. He's a person that doesn't have the kind of ego that's going to affect doing things right. Always do the right thing, and Barry will do that. So because Barry is that kind of person, because we want to be transparent. And then the third thing is that this is a process. We're going to be talking and looking. We're going to start a search. We're going to be looking at a lot of different people. Say, well, you can look at only existing general managers, assistant. We're going to look at a lot of different people. But as you know, the way it works in hockey, once the season ends, a lot of people go down to the fishing hole, as they say. I just assume be the guy with his line in the water first. And having Barry gives us the capacity to do that. So we are going to start a search. We've hired CAA to coordinate the search for us. We have a search committee that I will lead, but Barry and Sean and Michelle Kennedy, our president, will be on. We also will have a couple of our other shareholders, Chris Sigaran. Chris's family's been involved with the Preds for a while. And then Nick Saban, our newest owner, who has a little familiarity with helping on winning organizations, has agreed to be on the search committee as well. But we are going to, we'll start that search. Like I said, Barry is our general manager. We can do this because of the kind of person he is. And we look forward to continuing to build on Preds hockey. So I'll stop, and Nick, throw it back to you.
Thank you very much. We'll go to questions now. If you could please wait for the microphone. Please state your name, outlet, and who your question is for. We would appreciate that. We'll go to Alex first.
Barry, Bill addressed this a little bit, but I just wanted to find out from you, why now? In the middle of the team's, push for the playoffs. Why make this decision now? Why make this announcement now?
Well, I think we talked about it. Being I do the radio shows, I do that. We've been pretty transparent, and we want to get the best people. You look in this business right now. There's going to be a lot. This is a fantastic organization to work with. It's going to be a it's going to be one of those jobs that everybody's going to want. You're going to get the best people, and timing is we want to have the pole in first if we're going to fish for someone. So that is the uniqueness of it, but that's the advantage of it as well. This business is a lot of times it's a June 30th league, as you know, as everybody in the hockey world is signed till June 30th type of thing. And it leaves you even more time. Instead of making a rash, quick decision, you're going to be able to do that over time, and you're going to get a complete view of all the candidates. And it's changing in the sport. You have hockey people, you have agents who are now in that role. You have maybe someone from another sport coming in. I think we're pretty open to everything, but we want the best person in this role.
Adam, second row on the right.
Thank you. Adam Bingen, 102.5 The Game. This question is for Governor Haslam and Sean. I know you touched on it a bit in your opening statement, but I just want to clarify. There was not a difference of opinion between Barry and the two of you on which direction to take this franchise that led to this decision being moved up to now?
Yeah, absolutely not. And thank you for asking that. I meant to say that more clearly. Not only was there not a difference of opinion, this has people said, well, is this a reflection of something that's happening on the ice? Neither are true. This is about Barry making a life decision, and then us together. And we've been talking about this for 30 days, talking about, well, what's the best way to do it so we get the best possible result. I want to be as clear as I can. This has nothing to do with any disagreement with Barry or with a reflection of, where we are or are not as a team.
Jill, back row on the right.
Thank you. Jill Jelnick, Fox 17 Sports. Going back to Alex's question about transparency, why now? How big of a concern is the timing with this coming in the middle of the season as this team is on the bubble of potentially making the playoffs? What were those conversations like about the concern for the timing and the implication on the team?
Well, I'll say this. Like I said, we've been really clear. Barry's going to be our general managers, and we've been real clear about that with the players. And the players they're pros. Okay, they realize there's things that happen in the front office, ownership, et cetera, that happen, and that's somebody else's concern. I have full confidence in Bruno and the team. They'll treat this like the professionals they are.
And, if I can add to that, the transparency is important. We try to do it all the time. We talk about it. With that said, this is not going to be a distraction. Barry's our general manager. This is the first time and the last time we're talking about opening the search. We're not going to answer any rumors. We're not going to give updates. We're not going to tell you who's flying in and when they're flying in and who's on the list. The next time we talk about this is when we're celebrating hiring the new person. I think that's really important for everyone to manage the expectations. This will not be a distraction for our team. We have our general manager sitting next to us.
Yeah, let me add one more thing I didn't say. We don't want to be out there in the market searching for somebody and not being upfront about what's happening. And that's the other reason. And again, back to what you said, it's a June 30 league, like Barry said. If you want to get ahead of that game, then you need to do it, and you shouldn't be doing it behind the curtain.
Yeah,
Steve?
if I could say something on that, we've had we've talked about this. This is a unified sort of a plan and transition. And, being upfront, you guys are so good at your job. If we were trying to do it behind the scenes, it gets out. It just does. You saw it this morning. It got out. You guys are very good at your job. And I think by being transparent is what we try to do is as much as we can, because there's nothing worse than creating all the rumors and, like I'm healthy, I'm not going back coaching. Those are all rumors. Those aren't truths. And I think we want to be very transparent in this.
Steve, front row on the left.
Steve Lehman, News Channel 5. Just to further clarify that, there's a long window here potentially with your contract through next season. I think I heard you say there's no chance there's a move that would happen before the end of this season. Is there any chance the move doesn't happen before the start of next season?
That's a great clarifying question. Our hope is that we have somebody by draft day, end of June. That's our hope. But the luxury of doing what we're doing is we have a road to play this out the way we want instead of being announcing this, like I said, in April of 26 and thinking, oh, we got to get a coach here before June, or April of 27. We got to get a coach here before June of 27. We
GM,
have-
general manager.
Thank you. Sorry, general manager. Excuse me. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification. This allows us to do it the right way. But we hope to have somebody by the draft of this year, but we're not limited by that. And Barry, again, I have full confidence he'll do the right thing.
Brooks, second row on the right.
Hi guys, Brooks Bratton, Nashville Predators. For Sean, you touched on it at the beginning, but is it possible to put into words what Barry has meant from a franchise perspective and from a community perspective as you see it, not only today, but as you mentioned, almost 30 years ago?
I don't think it's possible to put it into word. I struggle with that anyway, in any topic. But again, Barry set what it was going to be a Pred. And you look at some of the legacy programs he started in the community, how they carry forward from player to player, whether it be best buddies. He started the chapter in the state of Tennessee that became something very passionate for Shea Weber, became very passionate for Roman Yossi and Pecorine, and things continue to get passed generation to generation. That's just one small example. But the biggest one is Barry didn't tell all of our players and our coaches and our staff to get involved in the community. He just did it. And an odd thing happened. It became something you wanted to emulate because, you all look up to Barry because he carried himself in such a way. So you look at that legacy in the community, what he's done. Look at what he's done and what is a player going to look like for the Nashville Predators? How will they carry themselves? How are they going to train? How are they going to treat other people? That was all in Barry's mold. And then when he came back as GM, he inherited a really good situation from his mentor, David Poyle. But despite that, he wanted to take it to the next level. And he did it. And he challenged all the norms. We have a great scouting department. How can it be better? We have a great development department. How can it be better? Well, he put new resources in, new people, new challenges, new goals. The facilities were pretty easy to identify what needed to be changed. But it wasn't enough to say we need better facilities. It was meticulous planning and sitting down almost painfully sometimes of what we're going to do. What is the tile going to look like? But every detail in this organization that we enjoy today, Barry put into place 30 years ago, right down to who picked out the office carpeting 30 years ago.
Yeah, me and David pretty well, but I think it was me. David put that one on me.
I'm not going to hire either one of you to decorate my house.
But again, everything that we enjoy today, we can all trace it back to what Barry put into place so many years ago. And the fact that he took his little sabbatical and ran around the Northeast for a little while, and then finally came back to us after winning a cup. We're just so fortunate because no one has been more passionate about what it means to be a Pred for life. And when Barry talks about all